Okay, so this video is going to be a real ad lib. I have not prepared anything, I have not made any notes, I haven't written anything down, but I feel it's one I need to address because it's happening quite a bit. I do a lot of readings for people who have met their twin soul, their twin flame, and that being a very powerful connection, it's so important to also realize that it's a connection that honors you, that honors who you are. If there's a really toxic element to that whole connection where you get abused or called names or lied to or cheated on, it's not a twin flame, it's actually maybe a toxic narcissist or something. You're actually caught up in a situation that can be addictive, because when you're with somebody who abuses you, you develop what's called trauma bonds. And trauma bonds are, another name for it is Stockholm Syndrome. It's where the victim of abuse gets so messed up, they relate the abuse somehow as a positive thing. It's a weird situation, and I'm not a psychologist, so I can't describe all the ins and outs of it, but there's a lot of information available on it. But it can feel like a very, very strong connection. So if you break up with that person and they're no longer in your life, it feels like you've got a huge hole left behind, but it's not because that person's your twin flame. It's because it's a trauma bond. And the only way to heal trauma bonds is to love you, love all of who you are, love yourself through those feelings, get some help, get some nurturing. But yeah, twin soul relationship is two energies that connect on many levels, and there's also a spiritual level there. And when there's no spiritual level and it's all kind of based down energies that are to do with sexual addiction and volatile stuff, and base things like lying and cheating and all of that sort of stuff, that's actually not a spiritual level. That's very much gone by the wayside there. So it's really important to be able to tell the difference. I'm seeing quite a few people who are caught up in those sort of situations, and I've been there myself where I've confused that for a twin soul relationship, and it wasn't, because there was no spiritual connection. There was just pain, and that is a very, very different scenario altogether. So make sure you know the difference. If somebody is your twin soul, you're going to have things in common. You're going to see things in very similar ways. You're not going to be identical, obviously, but there are going to be very strong parallels in your lives too, of things you've experienced or done or where you've come from. I've met people who are twin flames who were born in the same town but had never ever met, and funny things like that. So do look for the parallels. Sometimes it can happen that the one side of the couple hasn't woken up spiritually, so they're a bit unconscious, but in most cases, if there's downright toxic behaviour going on, run. I don't think that's your twin flame. I don't think that's your soulmate. I think that's actually a bit of a toxic relationship. And if you feel like that about somebody who's really mistreated you, do read up on Stockholm Syndrome and trauma bonding. They're very, very valuable things to learn about, to become aware of, because it does happen, and it doesn't mean you're a weak person. It doesn't make you a bad person. It simply means that you're actually a good person who once trusted and believed and cared, and was taken advantage of. So don't beat yourself up for it. It's actually a nice quality to have. It's just important to learn discernment. What's yours, what's not yours. Don't take on garbage that's somebody else's stuff. Let it go, leave it behind you. There are lots of nice people in this world, so move forward, take care of yourself. When you meet your twin flame, you're going to know. You're just going to know. It's, yeah, it's so blatantly obvious. I've met quite a few couples who are, and the energy between them is so strong, clear. It's clear. It's not murky and dark and unpleasant. It's a very, very clear connection. That's something special. So, yeah, don't sort of get confused about it. If it doesn't feel right, listen. It's your intuition. It's your soul saying, whoa, stop. Have faith in that. That is your best guide. Nobody else can tell you anything anywhere near as important as what your inner self, your higher self, your soul will tell you about those sort of things. So if it's right, you'll know it. If it's wrong, you'll know it too. So I just wanted to clarify that, because there has been a little bit of confusion lately with people who are feeling guilty because they've come out of quite a toxic situation and they weren't able to let that person go, and they thought that that person might be their twin flame. That level of hurt and hatred doesn't come into it. So no, because what happens with a twin flame is when you hurt them, you hurt yourself, because you're so much of a mirror for each other, and they couldn't hurt you without hurting themselves. So that's a really good indicator. So yeah, take care and lots of love.